Welcome to Missing Persons Archives, a channel dedicated to sharing real stories of those who vanished without a trace. Here, we explore the facts, the timelines, the investigations, and the unanswered questions behind each disappearance. These are more than cases, they are people, and every story deserves to be told. Subscribe and join us as we shine a light on the missing. Sometimes it feels like the wilderness is more than just trees and trails. Sometimes it feels hungry. Across the globe, countless people venture into forests, mountains, and national parks, never to return. Search and rescue operations turn up nothing. No footprints, no signs of wildlife, no clothing, no bodies, just silence. These are the stories of hikers who vanished in an instant. People who, in some cases, were watched one moment and gone the next. Today, we dive deep into 8 of the most baffling disappearances in wilderness history. Case 1, Trenny Lynn Gibson, Great Smoky Mountains, 1976. 16-year-old Trenny Gibson was on a school field trip to the Great Smoky Mountains National Park with around 40 classmates. The group was hiking toward Andrews Bald, a well-traveled path in perfect weather. Students naturally separated into smaller groups, with Treny in the middle of the pack. Others were ahead, some behind. Around 3 p.m., at Klingman's Dome, someone noticed Treny was gone. Just like that. One moment she was there, then she wasn't. No one had seen her fall behind or step off the trail. She hadn't voiced any desire to leave, and there were other hikers nearby who also noticed nothing unusual. Despite an immediate and intense search, no trace of Treny was ever found. No belongings, no clothing, no clues. She vanished in broad daylight on a popular trail with dozens of witnesses nearby. Case 2, Thelma, Pauline, Melton, Deep Creek Trail, 1981. 58-year-old Thelma Pauline Melton, known as Polly, was hiking with friends along a trail near Deep Creek Campground, a path she'd walked hundreds of times over the past 2 decades. During a leisurely hike, Polly advanced a few steps ahead and rounded a bend. Her friends followed just moments later, but Polly was gone. The trail was open, familiar, and she wasn't in physical condition to have sprinted away, yet she simply disappeared. She had no reason to flee. She was happy, well-adjusted, and wasn't carrying supplies or a bag. Despite a massive search and knowledge of a distinct crack in her shoe sole, no footprints, no tracks, and no sign of Polly were ever found. Case 3, Stacy Aerys, Yosemite National Park, 1981. Stacy Aerys was 14 when she vanished in Yosemite's Sunrise High Sierra camp in July 1981. She had traveled there with her father and a group of 14 others on a horseback riding trip. After reaching the camp, Stacy decided to take a short walk to enjoy the scenery. She briefly chatted with 72-year-old group member Gerald Stewart, who said she planned to head down to a nearby lake. Gerald sat on a log to rest. Stacy walked away, never to be seen again. The trail was short, visible, and populated. People nearby saw her moments before she stepped behind a few trees and vanished. A huge search followed. Dogs, helicopters, and volunteers scoured the area. Not a single item was found. No signs of struggle. No evidence of an animal attack. Stacy was simply gone. Case 4, Carl Landers, Mount Shasta, 1999. In May 1999, 69-year-old Carl Landers traveled with 2 friends to climb Mount Shasta in California. He was in excellent physical condition and experienced with high-altitude hiking. On May 22nd, he told his friends he'd get a head start and meet them at a designated point. It was a clear day, and the area where he disappeared, covered in snow and rocks, offered no places to hide. When his friends arrived, Carl wasn't there. They assumed he'd wandered off the trail, but a massive search revealed nothing. No footprints, no gear, nothing. How does an experienced hiker vanish on a barren open mountain with no place to go and no trace left behind? Case 5. David Gonzalez, San Bernardino National Forest, 2004. 9-year-old David Gonzalez was camping with family at Big Bear Lake in July 2004. He asked his mom for the car keys to grab cookies left inside. The car was just 50 yards away. His mom watched him head toward it, then turned her head for less than a minute. When she looked again, David was gone. The cookies were still locked inside. Authorities launched a search immediately, but no blood, clothing, or signs of animal attack were found. A year later, remains were discovered near the campsite, yet the area had been previously searched. The remains showed no trauma. Authorities speculated a mountain lion attack, but no solid evidence supported that claim. David's parents believe he was abducted and may still be alive. Case 6, Barbara Bolick, Bitterroot Mountains, Montana, 2007. On July 18, 2007, 55-year-old Barbara Bolick was hiking with her friend Jim Ramaker in Montana's Bitterroot Mountains. Barbara was only 20 to 30 feet behind him when he paused to admire the view. He turned to speak to her, and she was gone. There was no sound, no sign of movement, just silence. Barbara was a fit and seasoned hiker. Extensive searches turned up nothing. Despite being the last person to see her, Jim was never considered a suspect. The trail was easy, and there were no cliffs or rivers nearby. Another baffling vanishing with no answers. Case 7, George Penka, Yosemite National Park, 2011. 30-year-old George Penka disappeared on June 17, 2011, while hiking Upper Yosemite Falls with a church group. Around 80 people were on the trip. George was hiking with about 20 of them when he went missing. No one could say exactly when they last saw him, but when the group regrouped, George was gone. Despite a thorough search, no clothing, backpack, or other belongings were recovered. No one saw him leave. He simply wasn't there anymore. Case 8. Samantha Seers, Vesper Peak, Washington, 2018. 30-year-old Samantha Seers was hiking Vesper Peak in Washington on August 1, 2018. She was highly experienced, fit, and well-prepared. She reached the summit around 3 p.m., was seen chatting with hikers, taking photos, and enjoying lunch. Witnesses later reported seeing her descending happily with no signs of distress, but after passing over a ridge, she disappeared. Search teams used FLIR-equipped aircraft, drones, dogs, and hundreds of volunteers for weeks. Nothing was found. Her car remained at the trailhead. Her phone went silent. No signs of animal attack or fall. She vanished in daylight, surrounded by other hikers. From teenagers to seasoned climbers, these people vanished in ways that defy logic. Some were surrounded by others. Some walked into wide-open terrain. And all of them left behind no clue, no sound, no goodbye. Is it something natural we don't yet understand? Or is there something stranger at work in the wild? The only thing we know for sure is that they're gone. Thank you for watching Missing Persons Archives. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video to help keep these stories alive. And to all the families still searching, we see you, we remember, and we won't stop asking questions. Until next time, stay curious, stay vigilant, and stay safe.